everyone, welcome back to Lemphalation. This is Jovita here, and in today's video I am going to be sharing my experience of applying for an education loan from India to move to Australia to pursue my masters. Now in this video I am going to be sharing just a general overview of the process and what was involved in it. If this video is helpful to you in any way possible, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe for more. Now let's get into the video, and if you'd like to learn a bit more about my loan experience, then please keep watching. So ever since I've started documenting my experience of my life here in Melbourne, I've got a lot of people commenting on my videos asking me for the admission process, which universities to choose, what's the loan process like, and all of that. So in this video I'm just solely going to be talking about my loan application and the whole process. If you'd like a video on the admission process and how do you select colleges and stuff like that, let me know in the comment section below. But I also want to give a quick disclaimer to let you know that this is personal to me. This was my experience. It's not going to be the same for you. And when you do decide to pursue your bachelor's or your master's anywhere abroad, you need to put in a lot of effort into researching and finding out which universities you want to apply for or which country you want to move to, as well as what kind of banks are providing what kind of loans in India. It's not a process that you could go about by just watching a video. You need to put in that effort yourself as well. So having said that, I moved to Australia, to Melbourne, in February 2017, and the process of actually thinking about Australia and moving here started a whole year in advance. So I would say to you as well, if you're thinking of moving abroad to any country, the process would most likely start at least 6 to 12 months in advance, where you will start by looking up different universities and colleges that offer the course that you're intending to pursue. Now, while you were applying for this university, you would have got an understanding of the termly fees that you're going to have to pay. You'll be starting by listing down the different expenses that you're going to be coming across. The first major expense is going to be your university fees, your tuition fees. So that would depend on the course that you're pursuing. So for a master's course, if you are doing a 2-year equivalent course, you will have 4 terms. So there's 2 terms each year. So you'd have tuition fees for 4 terms. If you are doing a bachelor's, that's different. And in different countries, the fees and the structure of the fees might be different as well. So depending on the university, you have to think about the tuition fees. That was number one amongst the huge expenses that my loan was going to be contributing to. The second one will be the living expenses. So are you going to be living on campus or are you living off campus? You have to look into those aspects as well. Now, living on campus is very expensive and also a process that you need to start a year in advance. So if you are going to be living on campus, you have to look into that. What's the lifestyle like? How much does someone need to spend on a day-to-day basis for transportation, for groceries, for utility bills, etc. Alongside this, you would also be thinking about major expenses like your visa process, which is also going to be a big chunk of money going into that. And you'd also be thinking about your flight tickets, because that's another expense that will be adding up to this. Once you've noted down all of your expenses, it's also good to research about what kind of job opportunities are available whilst you're studying, as well as once you've finished your course, because if you are taking an education loan and moving abroad, you need to have a stable income. Once your monthly installments start based on your interest rate, you will have to pay a lump sum amount each month. So you do want to have a significant stable income coming into your account. You do want to look into what kind of job opportunities are available, whether it's part-time, casual, because when you're on a student visa, you do have restrictions as well. So those are the things that you want to look into. So once all of this is done, it'll give you an understanding of how much of loan you want to be applying for. So when I was looking to apply for my education loan, I obviously had a choice between a nationalized bank. So there's about 12 banks in India that are nationalized banks. There's private banks as well as NBFCs, which is non-banking financial financial companies or money lenders, but my mom used to work for a nationalized bank, so I obviously went through a very easy process. So there was just one glitch in between the whole process, which I'll talk about. So based on the bank's eligibility criteria, I was able to match that criteria and provide all of the required paperwork for that. The second step was the documentation side of things. So they require a whole set of documents for the loan application process, and we were able to provide that as well. So like I mentioned, my mom was the driving force of this, and because she was working with the bank, she was able to provide all of these documents. She knew the whole loan process inside out, so we didn't have to go around running about finding out what kind of documents are required or what's required for the eligibility criteria, how much of interest rate is the bank going to provide. We knew all of that already, so the process was so much more easier compared to a lot of other people that do apply for loans. I just had to visit the bank a couple of times for providing them with signatures on the documents. Once that was done, we had to go about the collateral security side of things and work out how much of collateral is required and whether we had enough to provide that or not. Once that was all done, we basically thought that the loan process would be quite straightforward. It usually takes about 10 days to 6 weeks for your loan to be processed. Unfortunately, because I was moving in the Feb 2017 intake, my loan application process started in October 2016, and unfortunately, demonetization took place in November 2016, which just put the banks under so much pressure. All of the loans had just been put on a backseat. It didn't delay the process for too long. By the end of November, early December, the loan was sanctioned, so I was able to get through with the loan in time. But I do know that there's a lot of different processes involved when you are going to apply for a loan. You have to provide a lot of documentation. I've had friends in the past that have applied for loans and have had such a tedious process because they've been called multiple times into the bank. So the first time the bank will ask you for one document, they won't clearly specify what else they need. They'll send you back and you'll think you've done all of it, and then they'll call you back again and say you haven't submitted another document, and then they just keep delaying your process as well. We usually have career counselors to go through the admission process, finding universities, applying for visas and all of that. But usually people are in a fix when it comes to applying for education loans because you don't know which banks to go for. You don't know the interest rates that each bank is providing, and all of this can be so overwhelming for any student that is applying to get an education loan. So I would highly recommend for you to look into a company called Gyandan. Gyandan is a company that was established in 2015. Basically will provide you with financial consultants that would help you to understand if you are eligible for a loan or if you're not eligible, what are the different criteria for each banks. They are in tie-up with about 50 banks and they have partnerships with these banks, so therefore they'd be able to negotiate the interest rates for you. They do all of the hard work for you, and they take off all of this stress involved in understanding and processing a loan. They will even help you out from start to finish till your loan is sanctioned and do all of the paperwork for you. And the best part about this is that they do not charge you a single rupee for the whole process. It's all free of cost and it's all online. So I would highly recommend for any students that are looking into applying for an education loan to go through Gyandan. So I will link Gyandan in the comment section below and also in the description box below. So if you're looking to get your education loan, go click the link below and find out more about how you can approach Gyandan. And also if you're wondering what is the step-by-step process for applying for an education loan, what's the eligibility criteria, what kind of documents do you require, how much of collateral do you need to have, let me know in the comment section below so I can make that video for you next. And this was all about my experience. I hope you found it helpful in some way possible. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for more. And don't forget to hit the bell icon right next to the subscribe button so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And that was it for today. I hope to see you guys in my next one. Until then, peace and love. Bye.